guys, so today I'm going to review episode 4 of Penguin. So in this one they kind of focus completely on Salvia Valcorn. Penguin in this is mainly just a background character. I guess this kind of shows some of the events that was happening when they you know got surrounded by the cartel, and it kind of showed some of the stuff they didn't really show us in that episode. That she basically finds out that Penguin killed her brother, even though it was so obvious. He gets away, yeah, since Victor helps him get away. She's kind of left for dead. And the only person she had to help her was her therapist, I guess. Which I'm surprised he would even want to help her. Which he must fancy her or something. Then we time skip to like I guess the past, where she's doing some kind of fundraiser for I guess what happened to her mother since she committed suicide, and she wanted to make sure no one else goes through that. And in this timeline, we kind of see that the dad's still alive, yeah. Before the events of the Batman film, where he ends up dying. We kind of get to see them interact with each other, hell, the whole family, apart from the mum, because she died, and they kind of get more deep into that story of what actually happened as it goes on. But we just don't. I don't know if they fully give us the true reason why that happened, but I'll get to that anyway. And kind of see like the early times of her and Penguin's relationship, obviously on a professional level, since he's just a driver and stuff. And then you got everyone talking to her without actually being scared, like they are, and it kind of makes a lot more sense. It's just in episode 2, I was like, why are they so scared of her? I mean, I guess they know that she was in Arkham, but just the way how one of the friends went from talking nice to her to then just being scared of her, I was like, why? But then you kind of find out why in this episode, which we're gonna get to. Because at first I thought that was a writing flaw, but there's actually a reason to it. We just didn't really get to see until I guess this episode now, which kind of ties up some things that was confusing me. But yeah, basically when she was a kid, she kind of sees that her mother supposedly killed herself, and it kind of left some trauma to her, which led to like I guess present day, where she wanted to try fight that by doing this fundraiser for what this thing that could happen to other families. But then deep down, she has like a talk with her father. Basically, the father kind of sees the potential in her and how she could end up taking over the family because the son's just so immature. He wouldn't really do a good job with the family. Yeah. So he's thinking to like break tradition and give it to his daughter. Like if he ever dies, like she'll get all the control. But then later on, it gets to a point where it's just them two talking, and they also end up talking about the mother and how it just gets to a point like where she ends up doing some investigation because the father like he kind of takes that as like a sensitive topic, and especially when there's women in his workplace also dying in a similar way, like they get hammed to death and they have like similar cuts on their nails and stuff. Yeah. It's starting to make it look like I guess it was Falcone who was doing that, but we never really get a proper reason why he was actually doing these kind of things. So it basically makes it look like he basically killed her mother, and she ends up trying to do some kind of investigation on that too. Yeah, and she goes see like a journalist, and Penguin's the one who's just always driving around while she's doing these things. And I think this is like afterwards where the father wants to talk to her because he finds out that she was seeing a journalist, and he's probably thinking like, do you think I killed all these women and your mother? And then she just tries to make peace with what's happening, make it look like she doesn't suspect him, but at this point it's just like, you must not be feeling okay. And basically he's trying to say that she might be crazy just like her mum, even though I guess he killed the mum and now he's gonna lock up his daughter in Arkham Asylum, which ends up happening. Yeah. Like basically pulls over Penguin, then basically arrests her by the orders of the father. So she ends up in Arkham Asylum. So we finally get to see her stuff. I was kind of waiting for with her character, like her time in Arkham Asylum, see how they handle it, and I'd definitely say they do a good job. Yeah, and I guess the only one who was really there for her while she was in there was her brother. So that's why she was kind of like really sad when her brother died. I mean, obviously it's family, but with how mafia families are, sometimes they have beef with each other, so sometimes it's more like good riddance when they get rid of a family member who's one in them. But yeah, she just ends up in Arkham Asylum, gets things done to her. It just they truly make it look like a terrible experience, especially when the person's actually innocent. Yeah, man, it's the first time in a way we're kind of seeing something like this, where the person in Arkham Asylum is not actually crazy; they're actually flipping innocent, and basically it's Arkham Asylum that makes her a bit crazy. I mean, she kind of already had trauma from her mother's death, but then this just made things kind of worse, really. Ugh. Getting injured in that she's a killer when she's not, and then this magpie who possibly was working with well, being ordered to do things possibly from the father because he was making like all these experiments happen, probably to make her actually crazy. Yeah, and to the point where because she was basically going to be on a trial so she could get out in like 6 months, but then 6 months go by and she ends up getting stuck in there basically. Yeah, so she just feel like, oh god, my life's over. So and that's when she ends up finally killing someone, but not until she was kind of getting creeped out by this person and battered, probably ordered to do it. Yeah, I kind of see this kind of co-op stuff in Gotham and other stuff as well. Because yeah, like Valcorn and other people, they just have control of the police, so they can just make anything happen really. Like Kingpin and Daredevil, and I guess this was the only guy who was thinking to help her, but instead of actually helping her, he just left, I guess. But afterwards, I guess she still went to go see him, but she kind of feels a bit off with him with how he barely did anything to truly help her. Because I guess that was the only one who knew she wasn't crazy, and everyone else was just making her crazy. So yeah, when it got to the point where it seems like she was screwed, she just ends up killing Magpie, I guess, someone who was trying to be a friend, but she's a loony, and she possibly was actually the reason why she ends up not actually getting out. Who knows? Basically, just destroys her. I just don't know if I can play the scene, but yeah, she just gets destroyed anyway. That's the first time she actually kills someone. Actually does something bad. Yeah. And I guess this guy ends up saving her in the current timeline, and she got left for dead. Yeah. And he just feels like he only helped her just to feel some kind of control, I guess. But I guess afterwards she ends up leaving while telling him how she, she probably feels about him. Yeah. Because he doesn't have the control this time. She's taken the control back. Yeah. So she goes to see her family. That basically they're the biggest reasons why she ended up staying in there for like 10 years. I think it was. I didn't even realize until the end that it was flipping 10 years she was gone for. Yeah, and it was all because of her family members. Like, kind of saying that she was insane and stuff. Like she was crazy. So it kind of explains why a lot of them would be scared of her because of what they basically did to her, and I was probably paid for it too, and threatened by Falcon. So she's basically come to this dinner to get revenge on him, and I don't know if they use like this glass as a metaphor for how full it is for how she's feeling inside about her family and what she's planning to do to him. Yeah. Because basically, there is the little girl though who she wouldn't want to hurt, but then she basically, because she was basically at one point that little girl, and she basically ends up becoming the little girl's trauma, because the father was her trauma. Now she's basically becoming the same thing. She's about to kill like most of her family in this whole scene, I guess, while spread her heart out to him of what they did to her. Yeah. And she ends up, I think, using some kind of gas to kill him, but she puts the little girl in like a shed or something. Yeah. Let's eat cake and sleep, I guess. Oh, she massacres the entire family. So that same girl's gonna have the same trauma that she had when she was a little girl, when she saw her dead mother, which was done by her father. So yeah, full circle. Now she's truly become a villain, but she kind of keeps one of them alive, and I guess she's gonna need a use for him, I guess. Yeah. And the episode ends. So yeah, it was a good episode. Really good episode. Finally, it was good to finally see her full story of her in Arkham and stuff, and how she's gonna end up taking over now since they're dead. She's gonna have some use for the other guy who she left alive. But yeah, he didn't really focus much on Penguin. He was more like the side character in this episode when he was like a lackey. you kind of see him from like a just the driver to then him eventually getting promoted and stuff. Yeah, being more trusted. And that's because he kind of snitched on Sophia when she was seen a journalist, and that's how he found out anyway. But yeah. So even though they don't fully focus on Penguin, you kind of see him like his transition from driver to like a trusted soldier, I guess. And he just probably kept increasing and increasing. Yeah. But yeah, that's just my review of this episode, episode 4. Another great episode. So I'd probably say the first episode's still the best episode. Then I'd probably put this second. Or would I put third? Probably episode 3. And episode 2 would be last place. Because it was a good episode, but it wasn't as good as the first episode. Because going from the first episode to the second, like it was a bit more slower. And 3 and 4 were just, very, very good episodes. Still not on the level of episode 1, because that was just such a great start. And surprising how good it actually was. I wasn't expecting it to be that good, but yeah. Yeah, I'm enjoying the show still, yeah. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Hope you liked the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.